So ever since the announcement that the Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to expand its legs over into the TV realm, with of course Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then down the road that they would be adding a whole slew of Netflix series, everybody has pretty much been wanting one thing for one reason or another, and that's for the TV show characters to appear in the movies. Now of course we have had it the other way around, where movie characters have appeared on the TV show, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has had plenty of that, and even kind of taking place around some of the events of the movies, and even paralleling them with some of the themes. Now, of course, the main big thing that's kind of stopping this is, of course, scheduling these actors, as actors are, contracted by one company, this being Netflix Marvel TV, to do the Netflix shows, then having Marvel Universe itself, do the cinematic universe elements by Disney and Marvel Studios. There's a lot of contractual issues, not with them wanting one another, but with them kind of crossing over times and having to fly actors one way or another. This would just cause a headache. But recently Jeff Loeb, who's of course one of the guys that is in charge of the Marvel TV stuff, did give an indicator on why or maybe when and what would be needed for this to happen. So first up, Jeff Loeb was asked about the TV show and possible even Marvel superhero fatigue and just superhero fatigue in general. And he says, I don't know that you'd be asking that question if it was a medical show or a law show or a cop show. And he's right. Every couple months, someone else big in Hollywood comes out and says superheroes are gonna die in 2 years. And it's like, no, they're not, because they're not just superhero movies. That's their, general genre, but they're tackling different things. Like Daredevil is the furthest thing away from Iron Man 1. But they clump both of those into, superhero thing, right? That just doesn't make sense. Guardians of the Galaxy is nothing like Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is nothing like Man of Steel, which is nothing like X-Men Apocalypse. Like, everything is completely different. Just because they're superheroes doesn't, group them in one. And then when asked about what it would take to actually have this giant crossover, he says, and I quote, "We certainly communicate with each other in terms of what we're doing and what we have planned, and the characters that we're using, and where it's all going. Unfortunately, for me as a fan, I tend to know more than what is happening in the movies than I want to know. We will obviously do our best to have folks cross into each other's storyline, if the story warrants it." So right there, he kind of tells you everything you need to know. The reason Tony Stark isn't showing up on the Defenders is because he has no reason to appear with them. He's taking care of way bigger things than fighting a ninja in New York City. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like, the scale of the battles is different now. If they can agree upon one that's equal level, like let's say, hypothetically, let's say Avengers 4, or 5, somewhere down the road, whatever they do in phase 4, right? They do Avengers, New Avengers, and the villain happens to be Norman Osborn, and he's making a deal with Wilson Fisk. Guess what? You can bring in Daredevil then, because he has history with him. That would make sense. But currently, there's really no reason to. So I like how he says that. They talk to each other. If the story warrants it, they'll do it. So probably Infinity War. Maybe not, though. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are on, and what do you want to see them cross over with.